Wednesday edition. Mr. Irrelevant, Alex Strouf, Joshy DiMaggio with you. Our buddy Will Summers out sick. We hope he's feeling better and can rejoin us on Friday's edition of Mr. Irrelevant.
Keep up the good work,
Will.
Keep up the good work, Will. We will see him again on Friday. Lots to get into today, but looking forward to about 15 minutes from now when our buddy Colin Russo of ESPN West Palm joins me per Joshy's request. He's going to join us to talk about the NCAA tournament. And I told him, Joshy, number one, this was Joshy's request. And number two, he wants to hear about your life.
See, the thing is, his life's way more interesting than mine.
Sure.
And that's the problem. Like, I feel like my stories or my life will pale in comparison because, I'm not crashing bikes or joining advanced age swim clubs. Those are just things I'm not doing. I think everyone here who's been in or on the show is, I like to drink a couple beers. I like to read books. I like to read sports, and then I talk about them.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I wish my life had more. Like, the most exciting thing I did was go on a vacation to New Orleans. But what did I do there? I ate and I drank and watched sports.
Yeah, that's what I did in Florida. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think we lose our luster at a certain age? Like, was 25-year-old Joshy, did he have interesting stories?
Oh, for sure. Yes,
okay, yeah.
yes. I was in a lot more situations, and a lot of time it was the people who you surround yourself with. Like, I have a lot of funny stories dating back to the 20 to probably 30 range, where I was in situations that are, sort of unbelievable and have crazy stories to them. But now that's just not my life.
Sure.
I go home, I walk the dog, I make myself dinner, I clean up the kitchen.
Not a bad gig.
No.
Not a bad gig, though. Not a bad gig.
I feel like he's still, last time, if I remember, he checked in with us. He had been in an apartment for a while, but all he had was like a TV on some sort of entertainment center and a single chair.
It was the exact meme you anticipate when you say this is all men need.
Live like this. Yes,
this is all men need. So that is what we will get into, but also the NCAA tournament bracket because he is a big college basketball fan, as am I, and I love this week. I love this time of the year, and we will talk a little college hoops. And I don't know, Colin always calls a good upset, so we'll see what's on his brain there for this year. All right, but I do want to get into this, Joshy, because news came out earlier today that the Rasheed Walker deal with the Carolina Panthers was not a one-year, $10 million deal. In fact, that is the maximum it can be with incentives. The actual base salary is a one-year, $4 million deal, which is effectively pennies for a starting left tackle in the National Football League. And I've seen and talked to some Packers fans that go, well, why didn't Goody bring him back? Well, why didn't Goody bring him back? Why did Goody not sign him if that was the only market? I'm sure he would have loved to come back.
It's not just fans. It's the hosts of your program and the hosts of my program that we produce every single day that have been. Rasheed Walker had an amount of stands that I didn't know
existed
until he was leaving the Green Bay Packers.
And again, I don't think Rasheed Walker is a bad football player. So I don't want to get it twisted when I go into 5 reasons, which I might not add up to 5. I didn't actually write a list. But why I go to five reasons why it makes complete sense.
Bang up job, buddy.
Thank you. Why it makes sense for Rasheed Walker not to be back in Green Bay. The fact of the matter is, number one, if he was to be back, he would be a depth piece. He wasn't going to start at left tackle. This is Jordan Morgan's job, whether you like it or not. He's a first-round pick, and he's entering the final year of his deal. Or no, it's year 3, so 2 years left on his deal. They need to get him into the spot he was drafted to play, and that is going to happen whether or not Rasheed Walker was on this roster. The second part is, did Rasheed Walker even want to come back knowing that, Joshy? Or would he rather say, hey, all right, maybe I'm not going to make the $20 million on the open market that I was anticipating to, but I can go somewhere on a 1-year prove-it deal and make that next year. And he goes to Carolina, where they lose their left tackle to an injury for at least a chunk of the season, we anticipate. And Yosh Nijman, the former Packer, who was their backup left tackle, retired this offseason. So he is going to be their week 1 starter, even at $4 million. So he wants to go get a change of scenery and prove his worth, and effectively what is a prove-it year for him.
It seems pretty obvious to me that the conversation the Packers had was, hey, we are moving on. We are moving on to the young first-round pick. We appreciate your time here. If things don't work out in the market for you, we would probably be willing to give you a swing tackle type of contract and let you work out that way, and maybe, some position open up for you. The interesting thing about Rasheed Walker is he's not as valuable as some other offensive tackles or even offensive guards because he doesn't have positional versatility. As far as I know, he can only play left tackle. The Packers don't like guys who can only play one position unless they're as good as, say, a Zach Tom. Sure. Then it's like, yeah, we'll keep you there and we're happy with it, which Zach Tom, if we remember, can play guard and center if he was asked to, but he's that good at tackle that they've never pushed him out there. And just to continue, what I don't understand here is the market told us, the NFL at large told us, we think this guy is a fringe level starting left tackle, and we're going to pay him as that. We're going to pay him so he can earn up to $10 million, but we don't feel comfortable putting a lot of risk or value into this. The left tackle position is second or third most important on an NFL team. You can argue edge, you can argue wide receiver, but as we saw in the Super Bowl, if you have a left tackle that stinks, Will Campbell, you end up losing games. It can destroy the entirety of your game and the rest of your season if you don't have a guy that can hold it down.
Totally. And something you said a few weeks ago, Joshy, that stuck with me is maybe they just viewed Rasheed Walker and Jordan Morgan as both a member of their best five, but Rasheed Walker doesn't have the positional versatility that other guys in the offensive line have.
Yeah.
He's the one guy, I guess Aaron Banks aside, but he is the one guy that has been drafted, developed, born and bred with Green Bay that has really only played one position.
Yes.
When you think of the Elton Jenkins, the Zach Toms, the Correct. Jordan Morgans, the Anthony Beltons of the world, guys that have been brought in to play significant roles in the offensive line, pretty much all of them have played multiple positions.
The fact we haven't seen him elsewhere kind of exemplifies the fact to me he's probably a disaster at those other positions. I mean, I know Brian Bulaga, and I've mentioned it to your host. He said, I wouldn't have been a good right guard. Just wouldn't have worked. Right. We all know how good Brian Bulaga was at right tackle. We watched it for years. He was a regular there. He was a guy, he was a set it and forget it guy. If Brian Bulaga's playing, I feel good about whatever the Packers are going to have at his position at right tackle. I don't think the rest of the league necessarily views Rasheed Walker as that same level. And if we remember back, I feel like there's been almost a degree of what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a selective memory on what happened throughout camp with the left tackle position. Rasheed Walker was hurt. Didn't get opportunity to really practice there or play in any of the preseason games. And Jordan Morgan stepped in and played well in the opportunities he had. And then when he returned, Rasheed Walker just got the job because they were more concerned about the right guard position between Sean Ryan and Jordan Morgan. If they would have had an actual battle, I'm now not convinced that Rasheed Walker would have won that position. But what you had, hey, these guys are probably our best five, and Rasheed can't play elsewhere. We at least have a little hope that Jordan can. Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening is the guy that actually won the right guard job ended up being your center, and then your left tackle ended up playing right tackle and right guard and probably even left guard, if my memory serves me correct, some points during the season. Like, he was all over the place. And clearly they thought of him as one of their better options. It's just he never found a home where he could get any stability.
The fact of the matter is, Rasheed Walker led the Packers' offense in penalties in 2026, and it was not a close second.
I feel like people forgot what happened like late season with him.
He had 4 penalties in Denver.
Yeah.
Part of the reason they lost was Micah Parsons and Christian Watson going down, and it took the air out of the balloon. Another reason they lost is Rasheed Walker continually killed momentum for them. And that's something that's just lost in the shuffle. So Rasheed Walker, and you just said it, Josh, the league said to Rasheed Walker, hey, you're not as good as everybody thinks you are.
Right.
And so Packers fans saying, well, why did they bring him back on that deal? Sure, he'd be a nice depth piece, but he was never going to be your left tackle.
I've never, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, I'm more concerned about the potential of lack of edge depth and losing J.J. Enagbari than I am to losing Rasheed Walker.
I totally agree.
Because I don't feel good about Jordan Morgan playing anywhere other than left tackle, and I don't feel that good about Rasheed Walker playing left tackle. And right now, I'm not sure. I'm not even slightly convinced that Rasheed Walker, given a full season, would have a better season than Jordan Morgan's going to have.
You and I are on the same page. I think we're both in the camp of Jordan Morgan believers, despite a really rough game week 18 at left tackle.
Yeah, and I mean, it's sort of just the effects of a season. He was playing next to a bunch of guys that didn't know what they were doing. Right. How do we know how protections were set? And was he getting good information from Jacob Monk? Or at the time, the Clayton Tune? Like, there's a lot of things that an offensive lineman relies on to function and look well in an offense.
And he had none of those in week 18 against the Vikings in that junior varsity game.
Right. And the interesting thing was it was the Packers preseason team versus the Vikings best. They sent everybody out there. They didn't hold anything back.
No, they did not.
The Packers were none interested in winning that football game.
All right, I want to rip, before we get to Colin Russo, something from Wilde and Tausch. I want to do a positives and negatives, and it's not about the Packers. It is about the World Baseball Classic, Joshy. The U.S. falls last night in the championship game, the title game, the final, if you will, to Venezuela, a final of 3-2. The USA only mustered up 3 hits, one of which from Bryce Terang. Thank you, Bryce. And obviously the Bryce Harper home run gave you those 2 runs late in that game, which was an awesome moment. But Venezuela wins. The U.S. loses. The U.S.
You got a little hitch in your giddy up on Venezuela.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You say a little funny. I don't.
Venezuela?
Audience in the YouTube chat, let me know. Does he say Venezuela weird? It feels like you forget there's a Z there and then you really hit it.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Venezuela. They won. Positive for Team USA, positive or negative for Team USA and or the World Baseball Classic as a whole.
The negative to me is it was pretty clear that the other nations involved, it mattered more to
Correct.
them.
Totally agree.
It mattered more to everyone else other than the U.S. I don't know if it's a level of arrogance or just not the correct degree of buy-in because they don't take as much pride in it as some of the other nations.
And part of that, though, Joshy, because I do agree with you, it felt like there was a lot of too cool for school moments going on.
Yes.
The other issue I had, and I don't know that this is on the players necessarily, but like the Tarek Skubal stuff. He pitches one game and then leaves, and 4 other pitchers did this, but Skubal obviously is going to get the notoriety because he's a 2-time and could be a 3-time back-to-back Cy Young Award winner for the Tigers, and is going to get a mega contract after the season. But those guys didn't want to play. It's a timeline thing too, right? This is happening a week before opening day. These guys want to focus on, for Skubal, he wants to focus on the Tigers and focus for getting ready for opening day. But there's not buy-in there, right? It's a rotating cast rather than it's the best American baseball players, which is what this is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And that would be my big knock on the World Baseball Classic and probably why I didn't buy in as much as I did until we got out of group play.
Well, yeah, and there's the added aspect of some insurance policies don't even allow players to be there, and then teams give restrictions on the higher end, more valuable players, especially the guys in pitching. I would love to have seen Tarek Skubal go out there and go out there and do it again, but I
think you say that weird.
Yeah, it didn't feel like the U.S. team was up to the moment. I did enjoy it regardless of that fact. I did think it was awesome seeing those lineup cards and going one player from another to the U.S. playing the Dominican Republic. All that was great. I'm not super disappointed in the loss. Like, it would have been great to see him win, but it didn't affect my viewing experience just because it doesn't hold the same value necessarily to it.
I slept totally fine last night.
Yeah, I actually fell asleep before the end.
That's not abnormal for you, though. Because
if it was a good game, I would have been up.
NC State, Texas, right after that. That was a great game. That was a great game. In the round of 68, the first 4 of the NCAA tournament. Positive was it was really neat. It's the first time I've watched it actively. I enjoyed it.
Anytime I can see all those guys on the same field together, I'm into it.
When you have an Olympic feel in an event like that, I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. It's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Here he is.
You could hear him rubbing his hands before I even put him on camera. Colin Russo's here.
Wow. There he is.
Colin.
Joshy, how are we doing, Josh?
I'm so great, Colin. I know. Strouf told me he let you know. I asked specifically. I said, "Hey, it's tournament time.
Oh,
Where's
I listened.
my boy Russo?"
I listened. He sent
Love
me the
it.
link because I had no idea what you were talking about. He goes, "It was Josh's idea." I'm like, "What was Josh's idea? Get me on the show." First of all, I haven't heard from you two guys about coming on this show in about 18 months, which is a joke. You guys can't be that booked. Are you guys that booked 3 times a week? You guys got that many guests that I can't come on from one? There's a couple things I can talk about. I mean, guys. So it's good to be back. I know Strouf and I have done this a number of times. It's good to see Joshy again. It's good to see Strouf again. I talked to Strouf more than I talked to Joshy. But Joshy, you still got the flannel on. I love that. That's great. You know, some things never change.
Yep.
Strouf, congratulations, officially on air. I don't know if you've announced, but you know, your big day.
I have. It's been well over a month.
That was not a secret.
No, it's not. Big shout out to my friends at Robert Hack Diamonds for the help in creating my fiance's dream ring. Yes, thank you, Colin. Do you think you'll be invited to my wedding?
If I'm not, see, here's how I would do this. All right. So if you're putting together tables, right? That's part of what they do at weddings. You know, they got to strategically, here's this person. The good news about me is, Stroufy, I am positive you could put me at any table.
Yeah.
And I think you should put me. Yeah, I would like to sit near Joshy.
Yeah.
If Bruss would be there, if that would be fun. A couple of the ESPN Milwaukee / Madison lot, I'm in. But if you need to fill a table at your fiance's family's uncle who we haven't seen in 3 years, and we need somebody to fill that other seat, I will more than happy take that spot. You just got to give me a little background on the guy, and then we'll be good to go. But I should be invited. If I'm not invited, I'll be a little bothered. I am anticipating an invitation.
If you're not invited, I might boycott the event. That's how far I'm willing to go, and I would like to put in a vote for putting Colin at my table if I have a table.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I'm in. I don't need a +1. Sure, I'm good. I don't need a +1. Go ahead,
Colin. I don't know if you're familiar with the whole Ben Bruss snafu that occurred a year ago, but Joshy was not invited to Ben Bruss' wedding, and it came out during a partner meeting.
Yep.
Between Josh, Ben, and a partner that they were meeting for the first time.
This was, mind you, Colin, this was a person I met networking and brought to Ben Bruss. I could have taken him to any of the other marketing consultants we have here. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna lace up my boy Benny Bruss. And he told me in front of this guy who we had met for, I believe, the second time at the meeting, as we were just getting gathered, starting to talk about, hey, what do you guys do? What are you looking for? What's the whole deal? He told me then. It was the most awkward experience of my life.
So, but I'm proud of Josh's growth in the last year, because he went from that heartbreak and embarrassment and level of that broke the friendship, I think I can say comfortably, to he's just under the assumption he's invited to my wedding. So this is good. This is good. That's growth.
Wait, so this was so first of all, Bruss did a terrible job on his part. He didn't even, number one, tell you that you weren't invited. He did not invite you, period. So has your relationship gotten worse or gotten better since this point in time?
It hit a real rough patch. I can get over things pretty fast. I wasn't that offended.
Okay.
Honestly, a lot of times, most weddings, I'm not that interested in going. I think it's a little bit of, more of a hassle than it needs to be. The one thing I will say is my mom, who was once a Ben Bruss fan, dead to him. Dead, done.
Wow. Never, how about that, Joshy?
Doesn't even say his name anymore. Speaks of him like he's Voldemort. It's unbelievable.
So, Joshy, I don't know if Strouf remembers this. Me, Strouf, and Bruss have a chat that basically is 95% me and 4.5% Strouf.
Yeah.
And Bruss will chime in here and there. I was also annoyed that I was not invited to Ben Bruss' wedding. Now, Bruss and I have met in person one time, but I think I talked to him just enough where I could be invited. I told him, I'm like, Bruss, if you're inviting your Lithuanian...
I didn't know you've only met once.
Yeah, one time. And I asked Bruss, I'm like, Bruss, you could put me at the Lithuanian teammates, where the guys who play professionally. You can put me at that table. You can put me wherever you want, and I'll go with the servers. I just want to be in the room. And he did not get back to me. He didn't respond. Yeah. So I wasn't overly impressed with Bruss' performance there. But Strouf, I am anticipating an invitation.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. We're still very early on in the process. We don't even have a venue yet, so I'll keep you posted on that. We're gonna get to Colin's life, Josh. I know that's that's kind of the entree for you, but
Yeah.
I want to get to the appetizer. I want to get to this puppy right here. For those of you listening on the podcast side, I am holding up the NCAA tournament bracket, which begins officially the round of 64, less than 24 hours from right now. The Badgers tip off exactly 24 hours from the moment I am saying this.
Which can we get this out of the way, Strouf? I hate to interrupt.
No, okay.
Putting the Badgers in Portland after, thank God they didn't make the Big Ten tournament championship game.
Yeah,
if
true
they're
that.
playing on Sunday in Chicago and they get back late Sunday night because they have to sit around for the selection show, right? That game ends. They're hanging around to watch the selection show. So they do that. Then all of a sudden you're out of there, 7, 8 o'clock. You're back in Madison 2.5 hours later. You walk in the building, you walk home, take a shower. It's 11:45 on Sunday night, but we got to go to Portland and play a 1:50 Eastern time, which, by the way, Portland Pacific time, you're playing at a 10:50 a.m. local time game for the Wisconsin Badgers, and they always get screwed here. Strouf and I remember the James Madison game when I was still at ESPN Madison, when they had James Madison. That was at 9:50 local time at the Barclays Center. That was a godforsaken scheduling time. I was very annoyed with that. It's an impossible game to win in that spot, but this is the complete opposite. They're going to be playing. It's an AAU game. This is a 10:50 a.m. local time in Portland against a team that hasn't lost since MLK Day. That is a waste of time. And a team that, but mind you, won their conference tournament. They won the Big South. That was Sunday, what was it, the 6th? They won their conference tournament game 10 days ago. And they get to sit around. They go on vacation, They get to do, they go pick paintball, whatever the team does. And Wisconsin, who played in a gauntlet in the Big Ten tournament, has to turn around and go to Portland and play High Point. That's a waste of time. And the winner gets the winner of the SEC. Arkansas is tremendously underseeded. Let's get that out of the way. So they got a brutal stretch. And even if Hawaii wins, Hawaii is underrated. Hawaii against UC Irvine Saturday night. And Hawaii is how the locals say it. So, Joshy, before you say anything, that's how they say it.
I knew what
so
you were
Hawaii
doing.
is underrated.
Cultured.
So when you watch Hawaii against Arkansas, one thing I want you to notice, Joshy, notice how they do not switch and they do not help and they don't do it. That's going to be the Arkansas game. That's the second of which. So Wisconsin, this is Salt Lake City all over again. When they had James last year when they were playing in elevation after playing in the Big Ten championship game against BYU, that was a waste of time. Playing Montana, another team that plays at elevation. This is that all over again. I'm very nervous about that first weekend, and I think the scheduling was a disaster.
I got to be honest. I was anticipating you taking us all the way to 1:30. I thought that was never going to end.
Did you see? How about Arkansas, too? Let's get into this for a second. Arkansas, who played in Nashville on Sunday at 1 o'clock against Vanderbilt, played 3 games in 3 days.
Yes.
They have to turn around, and all of a sudden, they're going against Hawaii, who is another underrated team. They're underseeded.
Time out.
What? What's the big deal? Hawaii.
Stop saying Hawaii.
It's culture.
Stop saying it.
It's cultured.
How the locals say it.
Colin, have you ever been to Hawaii?
The Islanders say Hawaii.
Have you
Go
ever
ahead.
been to Hawaii?
That'd be a good spot for your wedding.
I just asked you a question.
Yeah, you don't even have to use your passport to get there. It'd be delightful. Well, destination wedding.
I'm not going to do
I have been to
destination
Hawaii.
wedding. A honeymoon, maybe. Be open to Hawaii.
Yeah, honeymoon in Hawaii would be a good idea. So, Strouf, I'm offering my services. You don't need to hire a travel agent. I will set up your honeymoon for you.
What makes you qualified to be my travel agent?
I'm good with schedules. You know this. Don't play stupid here. I'm good with schedules. I can schedule your honeymoon. I can do a good job. Come on, let's be fair.
Does High Point,
Whatever you tell me what type of thing you want to do, and then I will set it up. I'm happy to do that.
Does High Point worry you at all?
Here's the thing about High Point. They could score. The thing is, they're overly reliant on teams turning the ball over. They got a pesky defense playing the passing lanes. Wisconsin's going to know that. So I think it's a matter of the same thing applies. Wisconsin, every game they'll ever play all year long, ever since basically they turned it around at the new year, it is, do they hit their threes? And if they hit their threes, they'll win the game. And if they get threes, they'll be fine. If they don't hit their threes, they can play down to any opponent. We know how Wisconsin goes. I am not a Greg Gard guy. I know that's Strouf's hero, but I'm not a Greg Gard guy. And I would personally, I don't like how Wisconsin adjusts to out-of-conference opponents.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Has any coach in the Power Four reinvented themselves during NIL and transfer portal better than Greg Gard? That's a yes or no question.
Well, hold on. Fine. The floor of where we were at, he was not winning titles and then won titles this way. He was losing in the first round this way, and now he's losing in the first round this way. So I got to see them get to the second weekend before we can declare Greg Gard shooting 100 threes a game the next Messiah. Can we calm down for a second, please?
I didn't call him the next Messiah. I will just say
That's what I heard.
Maybe I did. He did call him my personal hero, which I think is probably also a stretch, but I am a fan. I am definitely a fan of Greg Gard. Colin, 3 years ago, we were talking about a team that was in the NIT. And now we're talking about a team that has not relied necessarily, but nailed the transfer portal each of the last 3 years, from A.J. Storr to John Tonje to Nick Boyd. And these are guys that are looking at all Big Ten honors. These are guys that, and Tonje was a guy that was looking at a National Player of the Year finalist last year. You're looking at top 5 Big Ten finishes in back-to-back years, in 3 years in a row, really, because it might have been number 6 3 years ago, but they were a 5 seed in the tournament 3 years ago. This is 3 years straight, and I agree. The second weekend is a huge bugaboo for Gard. He needs to get there this year, or else there then needs to be a serious conversation of while it's as impressive of a job as he's done in terms of evolving and getting this team to the next level, changing their identity from defensive first to offensive first, and utilizing NIL and utilizing the portal, and still having the homegrown guys that come here as freshmen and develop, like the John Blackwells and the Nolan Winters and the Jack Janicki, who obviously we won't see, or maybe we will see in the tournament, but a guy who's been injured for the last few weeks. But those guys that have come in as freshmen, done the work, and evolved into true stars for this team. But he's also got the Nick Boyds and the Braden Carringtons of the world, who come in as experienced seniors and have 1 year left, and the Tonjes of the world, who can help really get them to that next level and still be a big-time player in the Big Ten, which they were not just 3 years ago. And these were things they weren't doing 3 years ago. So that evolution deserves a ton of credit. But, yes, I agree. He does need to get to the second weekend. And this feels like as good of a year as any, despite being a 5 seed, despite having Darius Acuff as a very likely round of 32 matchup. This feels like the year they have to do it or else.
I agree. I totally agree from the perspective that he's so good at finding a diamond in the rough in the transfer portal. I'm not saying Nick Boyd was any diamond in the rough. I mean, they went, but Tonje was. Storr in a lot of ways was. Storr, who, by the way, played great in the SEC tournament. But my perspective on Gard has always been the same. The one thing that's another caveat to his career is he lets a lot of in-state talent walk. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of Wisconsin homegrown guys that are playing well in other places. You look at just Momcilovic on Iowa State. I don't even think we talked to him. To me is unacceptable.
Wisconsin, you're right. He was not.
And that guy shoots 50% from three. I mean, I don't know what we were thinking there. The freshman talent is weird. We had Freitag last year, who might be I don't even know I don't think he was the MAC player of the year, but he was the runner-up at Buffalo, who had a great year. Maybe he wasn't ready, but you're telling me Janicki was a better option than he was? I mean, I can't listen to that. And you got Cameron Hunter, who I understand probably was, a little too big for his britches at Wisconsin, but he was at Central Arkansas at 46 points in the conference championship game against Queen Charlotte. So they got guys who dominate in the mid-major scene. Gus Yalden was on Vermont; he was best player. So it's weird to me that we get these guys coming in; they're big-time prospects, and if they don't immediately succeed, Gard is willing to just sort of let them walk, and this has happened a couple times now. Gus Yalden had off the court stuff, whatever. But the way I look at it is there is a lot of diamonds in the rough that have fallen through the cracks, as well as diamonds in the rough that Gard has found and brought into the fold. So I understand, Gard, the amount of success that they've had, especially on the road this year, it's hard to criticize him, but I will criticize Gard until the end of my days, until he gets to that second weekend.
Gus the Bus is considered a sophomore right now.
Really? Where is he now?
He's the Vermont Catamounts.
Catamount.
16 points a game. He's been in college for like 5 years.
I don't know that it's been that long. But I think it might be his fourth.
He was there when I was there. He was there when I was there. That was decades ago.
Decades.
How old are you?
I'm 23. Thank you, Strouf.
Decades ago. I want to kick it to Joshy in a moment because, Colin, I would say you and I were good test takers in the terms of the NCAA tournament. And what I mean by that is we study for the test all year. You and I love college basketball. Joshy, on the other hand, is a crammer, right? So he hasn't watched any college basketball leading up to this week, and he'll watch all of the tournament. But it's
So Joshy's big on the breakdowns that he gets in when you press the eye icon on the tournament challenge app. He's big on that. And then you see.
I go way deeper than that. I look at leverage charts and base Vegas off of what the public's picking. I do basically what I find to be just all numbers based. I don't care about who the players are on any team other than like the top 10-ish level guys and how they can affect it. I'm all looking at who does the public overvalue and undervalue, and how can I use that to win money in a bracket, in a elimination pool, or in like a seed pool. That's how I do all of it.
That's fair, and there's a lot of metrics. There's probably too many metrics these days.
Yes,
people are talking about
that work for you. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about they really, especially with the champion stuff. Now the champions this year are probably going to be a 1 seed. To be honest with ourselves. But the way I look at it is they do sometimes overanalyze, and you go to these college basketball guys, and they're like, well, I don't like their turnover percentage. And at the end of the day, it is the tournament, and there's an element of randomness attached to it. There's a reason nobody gets it perfect every single year. So you gotta add a little bit of theme. If you don't have any theme to your bracket, you're dead in the water. You gotta have a theme. Who's going to be your 1 or 2 teams that are going to win you the bracket? You got to nail 7 out of the 8 Elite Eights, and you got to get the champion right. You do that, you'll probably win your bracket.
I've got a question for you. How do you feel about Strouf posting a poll in the YouTube chat that just asks, "Are you enjoying Colin Russo?" Feels a
What
little...
What are the numbers?
What
are the numbers?
We've only got 1 vote, so I don't want to tell him yet.
I voted yes. If you want me to weigh in there.
All right. Well, wait. I'm curious. At the end of the show, you guys let me know what the voting looks like.
Right. The poll is in the
I'm a little backhanded by that.
Yes.
The poll is in the field. Simply, are you enjoying Colin Russo? Yes or no? Go ahead and vote. We love the MIA, the Mr. Relevant Army around here. We'd love to have their input on whether or not you are enjoying Colin Russo's appearance here on Mr. Relevant.
Let's get this out of the way. So if this is a poor vote on my part, then I'm never going to get invited back.
I might have to stump for you like I did this time.
No,
because
no.
apparently
there's a chance. Strouf, there's a chance.
There was an unspoken ban of you until I brought it up. And I was able to move some things and get some things in motion here.
It was.
Strouf's never heard of me until Josh brought it up. Jeez.
No. You said you listened to it. I went to bat for you. I said, look, we used to have Colin on every Friday when the show just
seemed
began.
like
Brian D, who was I thought was a great friend. Brian D. We don't need Colin on. Brian, I love coming on. Have we asked Colin about his perspective on this?
Colin.
I'm a little down on Brian D for that. And I like Brian D. Good friend. I thought so. Come on.
All right, well, this is good.
This might be the fake friends episode between Strouf and you, Brian and you, Ben and me. The only real friendship here is you and me, Colin, right now.
Yeah, Josh and I have always had a good relationship.
Yeah, thick as thieves.
Good to be back with you, Joshy. I'm going to be honest. Everybody else is
the pleasure's all mine.
I mean, geez.
Well, good news. The vote is turning up for you. 71% of people said yes so far. So.
All right, we'll take it. I'm coming back. Thank goodness.
Up to 75%, by the way.
So how are we doing this? But the tournament tomorrow, are you guys going to be watching this all day throughout? Are you going to keep an eye on it throughout the shows? How are you guys going to do this?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously we're working the next 2 days, but we have the luxury of working in a studio where I can visibly see 3 different TVs right now from where I'm sitting, and Joshy can see at least 2, if not 4. So, yeah, the games will be on while we're in the studio. The games will be on upstairs when we're in the desk portion of our office where we have a ginormous screen. Wisconsin plays the 4th game of the day, so there's going to be a lot of people around here invested, Collie.
Yeah, that'll be a good vibe. And the first 7, 8 games are the best time of the entire tournament because everybody's just so jazzed up. They always start with an 8-9. I believe it's TCU this year, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
I actually have a culture question for the two of you. Do you feel? I feel like bracket challenges are maybe down, but I feel like participation's down.
I think bracket
on brackets.
Yes, I have. I'm entered. I sent you money.
All right, I lied. Will's not in my.
I haven't filled out my bracket yet. I haven't joined the leagues yet. I'm going to make my bracket and then I'm going to join it. I do that tonight because I want to see how the first 4 go, and then I'm going to go from there.
I think there's probably a drop in bracket just because the industry overall has risen, be it sports gambling where you can bet on each individual game, or be it through other venues where you can do, survivor pools and all that stuff. And I mean, the squares I've been reached out for like 8 different squares, from anywhere from $10 to $100+ per square.
I just got a text
How
message.
do you do squares?
Hold on.
What is squares?
I just got a text message.
All right, go ahead.
It was from one of Colin's colleagues in Florida.
Uh-oh.
It said, "Can you please wrap this up? I need to talk to Colin."
Don't wrap this up. We're good. It can wait. I'll tell you that right now. It can wait.
So, good.
It can wait.
All right,
I've been here all morning. Where were we then? I was here all morning. I was waiting
up?
for this show all day. Josh, I've been waiting for this all week. All
Same.
weekend I was excited because I knew I wanted to talk to Josh.
Yeah. And now we got people trying to tear us apart. We got to come in from all angles, is what I figured out.
So-
fake friends episode, no doubt.
Uh-huh.
Go
You
ahead,
guys want to
Colin.
hear what I'm up to? You guys want to hear what I'm up to?
Yes.
Yeah, what's
All
new?
right,
So
so
I want nothing more.
What's new in the world of Colin Russo?
all right, 2 things. All right, so number one, last year I just decided to do the triathlon, the Ironman stuff. So I'm retired from that. All right, retired.
Whoa.
So I got one.
That was
Go
a
ahead.
quick retirement.
You hung the shoes up?
Well, I did it once.
Huh.
You only wanted to do it once.
I need to do it again.
I thought you were just going to be an Ironman.
Yeah.
An Ironman man.
I hate the bike. I hate the bike.
Of all the things.
I hate my bike. I haven't.
Last time you were on the show,
I
you
hate
did
the
tell
bike.
us a story about how you crashed
Yes.
the bike.
And you also told us how you joined a
Well,
swim club with old guys.
Yeah, I still swim there once a week with
Hell
the old
yeah.
people.
Love
They're
that.
great.
Love that.
Yeah,
They're great.
So I'm still there weekly. They're Tuesday mornings at 5 a.m. They're a great bunch. There's a swim meet coming up. I'm contemplating joining. I can get in for free, and I got to race these people. So I don't know if that's a good idea. There's one guy who races in the lane next to me every single time. His name is Eric, and he works at the ATC tower at Palm Beach International Airport. ATC, the air traffic control.
Yes.
So whenever I break down with him, because the thing is Trump is down the street. So Air Force One is coming in and out of PBI all the time. So I always ask him about what they do when Air Force One comes into PBI. This is in between sets. So we're in swim cap and goggles, and it's still dark out. And we're breaking down the protocol when Air Force One comes in, and this guy, Eric, is eating it up. And he's a fish. This guy's Phelps. He's so good in the water. And then he goes to work, and then he goes direct to the planes in.
I gotta say, that's one of the positions, jobs I've never gotten to talk to anyone about, especially not somebody who's bringing in Air Force One on a regular basis.
That's a little different.
Good guy. And I always ask him because we were the first.
fish.
We're right next to the airport. We swim right next to the airport, so you can see the first plane coming in.
Yeah.
It's usually American from Charlotte, and I always ask him, I'm like, "What plane is that?" And he goes, "That's usually the American of Charlotte that comes in, and the one that leaves is either Charlotte or Newark. It depends on the day," which I thought was interesting.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
So I'm doing that. All right, so that's neither here nor there. I'm swimming just recreationally. You're not gonna like this. This is rough. I don't like this. I'm a big on challenging myself. And physically, I just like to have something in the docket. I'm going to do a race. It's a ultra marathon. An ultra marathon is anything above 26.2. It is a 50-mile run,
Oh,
and it
goodness.
is in the Florida Keys. It is in the Florida Keys
No.
in the middle of May,
No.
and so it's going to be 100 degrees. It's just on that. Have you seen the Florida Keys? It's just a road. It's just a road in between islands.
Do you
It's
run,
going to be
do you
on
run
that.
the bridge?
And yeah, the 7 Mile Bridge, you do
Yeah.
that. And they're not a lick of shade the entire time. I'm fairly confident it's going to be the worst day of my life. And so it's going to be rough. And I'm making sure Mike can even handle it. I've been training for it, but I don't know if I can handle the 50 miles yet.
What's
so
the
we're going to have to
longest
see.
distance? What's the longest distance you've ever run?
I have not what I'm doing right now. I have not gone over 26.2, but I will probably do a run once. That's about 32 miles. And it's about mileage. It's about miles per week more so than it is doing a long run because I need to test myself in the heat. I might die out there. So it's one of those situations where, and the thing is, no aid stations. And aid stations is where they got the water cup people with the neon
None.
T-shirt.
You have to
They don't
carry
have
your
any
water?
of those. So. No. So I thankfully, you need a crew. So I'm in the process of recruiting a crew that is going to be in a car,
me?
and they just need to. I'm just going to fill up a cooler, have some bananas. You're going to have a couple of gallons of water, and there's no aid stations. I don't know why they don't have aid stations. I feel like that's such a it's on the side of a road. It starts in a grocery store parking lot. It starts in a grocery store parking lot. Think like a what are the Wisconsin ones called? Woodman's.
Yes.
Yeah, Kroger. Think of like a Woodman's in the parking lot, and they got like a banner, like what they have for a bachelorette party, and you go through, and that's where you start, and then you're taped up, and off we go.
Is this event sanctioned, or is this a guerrilla event? Because it doesn't sound.
This sounds like you were one of 6 participants.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
They're clearly not shutting down the 7-mile bridge for this.
Right.
No, they're not. No, they don't. It's on the side of the road. It's on the side of the road.
This isn't sanctioned. You might be arrested. Why is this guy running down this road? We can't have this guy out there. And why is he crying?
Josh, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. It's May 16th. It's May 16th. It's May 16th. It's a Saturday. So I'm going to go up on that Friday night. Go ahead.
So your crew, how long are we anticipating these people are going to have to commit their day to following you in a car?
Should we do it?
And bringing you aid?
You guys are more than welcome to come. I'm anticipating the race will take you about 9-10 hours.
Josh, let's do it.
Have you asked anybody yet, and have they told you hell no?
I have not. I've floated the idea, and I've got people like no interest. It's a Saturday. The thing is, it'll be 100 degrees. We got to coordinate a couple locations where we just hang out underneath like the hood of my car. Like we open up the back hood and we just hang out and we're just like drinking water, saying what up, and then we move on. And I'll see you guys in a couple hours.
All right. Any other life updates before we get your final?
I do have one other question.
Yep, go ahead.
You seem to have,
Go ahead, please.
You seem to have an extreme sport. Everything is the furthest extreme of that. You think, hey, there's certain events where you just do a marathon. You did that once. You said, how do I extreme this up? Have we thought of just like bungee jumping or base jumping or skydiving so you can get that fix you so desire? Or is it more the endurance portion? Because there's a little bit of of self disregard of your well-being not being a big factor into what you're doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, good question. First of all, I have bungee jumped before. I've thought about getting my skydiving license. A little too expensive, a little out of the budget.
You could just go.
So I'm in a position. I got a lot of free time. So in the morning, I'm retired from dating. You guys know that. So I'm just like out there. I might as well just run.
No one told me that.
I don't think we know that.
You guys do know that. No?
You're retired from dating.
At 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will there be a reunion tour with dating?
So I get crap for this in the office frequently. I'm just guys. I'm out of the game. I'm retired. I'm retired.
Colin, I just need to point a couple things out. Number one, you were 23 years old. 23.
Yeah.
Number two, you live in South Florida.
Yep. Have you ever thought about trading up? Maybe finding a rich girl down at the kennel club or something?
You're not finding them at the kennel club. Let's get that out of the way. Number one. Number two is maybe you go hang out by the boat docks. I saw Jerry Jones's boat was there. Those not a big boats. Maybe just hang out. You see if somebody like billionaire's daughter's hanging around. Hey, how you doing? But no, I've thought about getting back into the game. Here's what I'm going to do. I got my summer plan. You guys ready for this? So I'm going to do the 50-mile run, and then that's May. And I might survive. And then the summer hits. I'm going to do the New York City Marathon, which is in November, but I'm not going to wait all year for that to happen. So we're all good. So I got the open summer. And the World Cup is in the summer, so I got to plan my PTO days strategically. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a solo travel trip, and I'm between two different spots. I'm between Vietnam and Norway. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I was thinking I was going to do Guatemala, but it turns out there's a level 3 travel advisory there.
Don't like that.
And I asked my mother about it, and she goes, how many levels are there? I go, 4. And she goes, absolutely not. Even though I'm paying for all of it, she's like, she was telling me, she's like, I don't want to freak out when you're there. I'm like, all right. So it's
I'm with your mom.
So I understand that. I get it. And so I was thinking going to do Guatemala, but I think I'm going to do Norway. I'll do that in the summer. And then I'll hang out in the summer a little bit. Maybe I'll be back in the game a little bit. Who knows what happens. And then I'll start training for the New York City Marathon later in the year. But it's good. I don't know. Last year I did Peru. I solo traveled Peru, which was great. I did Machu Picchu. Josh, I know you loved Machu Picchu. It's great.
Big Machu Picchu guy. I have one last question to sort of tie a bow to everything on here, and it's potentially an indelicate question. And if you want to pass on it, we can do that. With the amount of running, biking, swimming that you're doing and traveling, solo traveling, it sort of gives off a representation of you running from something. Are you running from settling down? Are you running from an ex? What compels?
So Josh, I don't know if you know this. Strouf knows this. I've never had a girlfriend, and that's always been a big theme with Strouf. So I've never had a girlfriend. So that's not something that I'm running from in terms of relationship status, because there's nothing really to run from in that regard.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
no, I'm all right.
You can't run from nothing.
Here's the thing. I like watching games, right? And I think that
So do
relationships.
I watch games every day.
I think that relationships can get in the way of that. When I want to watch Tulsa in North Texas in the American Championship, I'm in a tough spot because if I got this poor girl that I'm dating and we got to go on a dinner date and we got to spend the money, I'm not there yet. I'm young. I could go. Let's just go run. Let's see what Peru has to offer. Josh, let's go to Norway. Let's go do something like that. And something else that I'm doing, this is sort of a work in progress. It hasn't necessarily gotten off the ground the way I've wanted it to, but I got in contact with the symphony. There's a symphony in Palm Beach County, the Palm Beach Symphony. So here's what we're going to do. So the symphony, you familiar with the instruments?
Yeah. Do you play an instrument?
All right. So here's the idea. So I wanted to learn an instrument. I already tackled something athletically. It was important for me to tackle something in the arts, right? And I was between two things. I was either going to try to join one of those makeshift plays that they have, somewhere around here,
like
but those all rehearse. Yeah, those all rehearse in the afternoon when I'm doing my show. Whereas a actual instrument, I feel like would be very doable and viable, and I get to perform with the symphony. So I reached out to the Palm Beach Symphony. I found the guy at a networking event, and we started talking.
I found the guy.
And
I found the guy.
well, here's the problem. So I want to learn the guitar. I was thinking the guitar, that's not a symphonic instrument, if that's the right word. But I wanted to learn the guitar because it's practical. I was thinking about the violin and, Joshy, doing this. But I ultimately decided on the guitar. So they found me a bass player that performs in the Palm Beach County Symphony. And he's a a teacher at a local art school. And he also is in the symphony in his free time, a guy named Jeff. And so the problem is I'm slated to perform with them. I'm slated to perform with them the day after the 50-mile run, the May 17th. And that's a major problem. So
huge problem.
It's a major problem.
What if they're relying on you for some guitar action for an instrument you haven't picked up yet?
So here's So I have the instrument. But we're a little behind on the development.
Yeah. When I said picked up, I meant as in started to train and practice.
You got to perform in 2 months.
Yeah, so it's a major problem. So we're in a lot of trouble in that regard.
You might ruin the symphony.
And the problem is, hold on, Jeff's not listening to this. Jeff doesn't respond to me. Jeff,
Because Jeff,
Jeff has got better things to do and bigger mountains to climb. This guy, Jeff, he is big dogging me like you would never believe.
It's because he knows he's smarter than you. He knows you're making a joke out of the symphony, Colin.
I'm not making a joke out of it, Strouf. I want to learn the instrument. I want to learn the guitar.
You haven't picked it up.
I have the guitar. I just need the teacher. And the teacher won't show up because he won't respond to my texts. That's the problem.
Why don't, instead of the
Jeff,
symphony...
Jeff, I'm down to practice. I just need I'll go to you. We can hang out in your garage. Just do the guitar. Respond.
Colin.
I'm down on Jeff.
Why don't you pick up one of the more self-motivated things? Because that's so far what's been your whole thing. You train, you work mostly by yourself, and then you run these races. Why don't you like write a novel? Like, what about that? What if you picked up
Write a book?
painting? Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I'm going to be honest. I needed something in the arts. Here's the thing. If you're going to do something,
I've read your writing. It's very entertaining. I think you could put yourself together a nice little comedic novella.
yeah, I think I should. I don't know. See, Josh, you get too many things I want to play at the moment. We got to get through this race. Then we got to get a hold of Jeff. We got to get a hold of Jeff.
Jeff's out. Jeff doesn't want anything to do with
Jeff's
you.
out. Dude.
Jeff is in. We're still in on Jeff. We're still in on Jeff.
Jeff's out.
Here's the thing about here's the thing, Jeff. The thing is, if I look at my phone, I'll show you right now. Let's see. Let's see the last time this guy responded to me, Jeff. Oh my gosh, Jeff! Look at the last two things. It's blue and blue. Jeff, need you, pal. Need you. Nothing. Down on Jeff. He responds like, "Oh, it's a tough week." So I don't want to make this about Jeff. This has nothing to do but at the end of the day, I'm in a situation where we're gonna have to figure out the guitar on our own. So we'll see. I think I'll learn it though. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
We've got to let you go. Who's your final four?
So I was in between a couple things in regard to how I'm going to handle UConn. Strouf knows I'm a big UConn basketball fan, and so I need to know whether UConn can beat a Duke. If they go against St. John's, they're going to lose. All right. So if you have St. John's winning as the 5 seed against Duke in that Sweet 16, then all right, then they're going to beat UConn. But I think they actually have a chance to beat Duke. So I'm going to go with UConn from a rooting interest. Arizona's going to win. I think Arizona will be in the Final Four. I actually think Michigan's got too easy of a draw. I don't love them right now. And if you asked me 2 weeks ago, they would have been my champion, but they're not peaking at the right time. Unfortunately, I think they're going to move on. And the other one, in my opinion, is going to be Houston. I think it'll be a 2-2-1-1 Final Four. I think Houston's good enough to win it all. I think the fact is, how about this? How about Florida getting screwed? If I'm a Gator fan, I'm annoyed. Yeah, you're playing the first round in Tampa. Fine, it's right down the street. But the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight in the South region is in Houston. It is 3 miles from the University of Houston's campus. And Florida's going to be playing them there. That will be a home game. That is a joke, the fact that Houston, it was a 2 seed in the South, and they're probably the 5th ranked 2 seed, so the top 2 seed in the field. They get a home game against Florida as a 1 in the Elite Eight. That, to me, is a joke. I actually think it's going to make a difference. And so I'm going to have Houston move on, unfortunately. I think that's bad mojo, the fact that Houston does get that home spot, but that's how it's going to go. So I think 2-2-1-1, Arizona's going to be my champion. I was wrestling with a couple different teams. I think it's going to be Arizona.
I regret to inform you, my favorite team to fade is UConn, losing to UCLA in the round of 32.
Why? They've won 6 titles. They're 13-1 in their last 14 tournament games. I understand this team is not as great as the other teams,
because they're not those teams.
I have them losing to Michigan State. Colin Russo. I'm exhausted.
Quite a performance.
I'm exhausted.
I would like an update on Jeff. I would like to know how Jeff goes, and then I'd need to know who your battery is going to end up being, because I would like them to document their journey more than I care about yours, honestly. Like, just
as in the symphony?
No, the people for the ultra for your 50
marathon.
miles. Like the things those people are going to
okay.
have to endure to find you at places in the condition you'll be at each stop. And, are they going to have like the problem with, I think with you, as I've gotten to know you a little bit more, is you're going to have like the bare essentials, but there's going to be other things like Band-Aids and chafing and other degrees, which I don't know if you're going to be prepared for them. So you're going to say, hey, I'm having this issue. I'm bleeding out of my nipples. And they're going to go, well, I have a banana. What do you want me to do about that?
You packed cooler, and we got bananas and gallon jugs of water. Right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Joshy. You're going to need multiple pairs of shoes. Yes. I only have one. You're going to need multiple pairs of socks. I could do that. That's no problem. Maybe it's you two guys. Here's the thing. Maybe it's you two guys.
I think I'm kicking him off the show, Josh. I think that's it. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore.
I was having a great time.
I'm exhausted. How is he? How does he not run out of energy?
It's one of the more remarkable things. It's why I like having him on. I like that his brain's going a mile a minute. He puts on a show. He's a showman.
He's the best.
He's the best. And nobody. I like people who are different. If there's one thing I could say about him,
He's unique.
He's different. He's a different cat now. Let me tell you, I'm gonna shoot you straight on that one. And that I appreciate about him. The 50-mile race is going to be a disaster.
Oh, total mess.
Total mess. Like,
I mean,
we
he's not getting through that thing.
Like, it seems unsanctioned. They're not closing stuff down. Like, he might get bit by a snake on the side of the road because he's just running. Like, we haven't even factored in all the potentials of things that could go wrong.
He's the 7-mile bridge is honestly the part that gets me.
Yeah,
because
that's a stretch.
You called it a guerrilla operation.
Yes,
which it sounds like. This is not like a Paul or
when they do it down here, they
shut down the home.
Yes. There's roads
the
shut
Milwaukee
down.
Marathon. They shut down the home bridge.
There's police. There's barrels.
I don't think they're going to have any of it.
No.
I think it's just going to be like him and 3 other people running on the dirt of a 7-mile bridge.
And the other people are going to be like experienced ultramarathoners. And then you're going to have this guy. Imagine you're running a 7-mile bridge that you're just getting beat with the sun, the reflection off the water. It's going to be.
Do you think
inhaling the fumes from people driving on that?
Do you think he talks when he runs?
Yeah, I don't know.
How you feel?
He seems to be in pretty good shape, so he probably is. Like,
he doesn't shut up.
His shoes might melt. And then he's going to be running barefoot, and he's going to go, crap, I should have thought about grabbing an extra pair of shoes.
Final results of the poll weren't great. Are you enjoying Colin Russo? 65% say yes, 35% say no. Not great.
I think it can get a little bit, he could be a lot.
Almost overwhelming.
I was in my element. I could have gone for hours.
Yeah.
Put a quarter in the guy and you just let him rip. And then you ask a question, and then next thing you know, you're talking about the symphony. Like
we were gonna do One Word Wednesday. Will wasn't here, and he said he was gonna send it to me. He didn't. So,
yeah.
I guess we'll jump right to what we missed, which I don't know. My brain's fried.
What did we miss? J.C. Treader, despite being somebody who could likely be indicted for some sort of fraud, is going to be the NFL
executive director.
Yeah. If you haven't had a chance, not to send you to any other podcast ever, but go listen to Pablo Torre Finds Out.
Not great.
No. Doesn't represent that man nor the future of that organization fairly well. It's actually pretty terrible. But yeah, that to me was an interesting thing that happened. Other than that, what else happened with the Packers? Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. It's kind of a dead period.
Yeah.
We got jersey numbers.
Yeah.
Let me know if you like these or not. Zaire Franklin, 44.
I love a 44 for a linebacker.
Sky Moore, 23.
Fine.
I forget what's. Benjamin St. Juste, 21.
Don't love it just because that number is Charles Woodson to me.
But it was also Eric Stokes.
It was, but I'm remembering it as.
And almost Darnell Savage.
See, I can argue that if you're a first-round pick, you probably have a better case to the 21 number. Now, it's been worn since then, so the mystique is sort of worn off.
Yeah.
But the part-time player from the Los Angeles Chargers.
I don't know if 21 was the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And I believe that's all I have for new numbers for you.
Yeah. I don't got a whole lot. We're in a real dead period right now, and the Packers don't have a first-round pick, which I would never take back for anything because I want Micah Parsons to be here for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
But it really takes a little juice out of it because this is the perfect time of we got to start talking about dudes. Talking about RAS scores.
We're just about there. I got to get through the first weekend of the NCAA Tournament, which starts tomorrow, and I'm so psyched up about. I got to finalize my brackets, or my bracket, I should say. But I'm fired up. All right. Well, Will rejoin us Friday. Maybe we'll do a little One Word Friday. We will be live from Potawatomi Sportsbook on Friday. You knew this, right?
No, I'm finding this out now.
Okay, that's good. We are doing our show live at Potawatomi Sportsbook on Friday.
Love that.
So looking forward to that. And I can't hang really long because I have to get back here to produce KBN 30 minutes after we're off the air.
Wonder if that should have crossed my desk at any point.
I would imagine so. So good stuff. Glad we're organized. Looking forward to talking to you on Friday beginning at 12:30 Central, ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. And, of course, we are available wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Hope you enjoyed the Colin Russo show today. Haven't had him on in a while. Josh was adamant. It actually worked out nice that I had to also produce the show.
I'm going to be honest. I think the once or twice a year Colin Russo is the exact right amount for us to have. Because we lose all control of the program, and I don't help you. I don't help at all. I make it worse actively.
Yeah, you do, which I'm okay with because we know what we're going to get there.
Yeah.
I was not anticipating him taking shots at our boss, but that's what we got. That will do it for us today. We will talk to you coming up on Friday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook on Mr. Irrelevant. Thanks to Joshy. Thanks to Colin Russo. I'm Alex Strouf. We'll talk to you Friday. Peace.